I'm going to click go live.
Yeah, no worries.
Hello, everybody. We're live. It's Richard Hart here with the famous, super, ultra, omega, most famous comedian in Australian history, Dave Hughes.
Richard, a lot of people would dispute that. So it's like, people do know me in Australia. That's reasonable to say. Not everyone likes me. A number of people do, a number of people don't. So yeah, but yeah.
I mean, you've been at this a long time. I Googled you and looked up your wiki, and you've got like awards from 20 years ago for comedy productions you did.
Yeah, I've been on TV and radio in Australia since basically 2000, and so I've been doing stand-up comedy in Australia since 94. So yeah, long time.
94.
Absolutely.
My God, I was a junior in high school.
Yeah, so was my wife.
Hey, good on you, mate. Well done.
Yes, well, anyway. So yeah, I've been at comedy a long time, man, and been investing for a while as well. But
what do you traditionally invest in?
I went heavily into the stock market in, I think it was 2006, just before the GFC, just before it hit. So. And my bank said, just take out a margin line, and I did.
God.
And I took out a margin line for millions of dollars and used it like monopoly money. And I just sit at home and just buy this. And then the GFC hit, and the bank, they kept calling me wanting their money back. It was quite stressful at the time. So,
well, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, it was rough, but I got through it. What I was able to do was give them their money back without having to sell the stock, which would have obviously, really cost me a lot of money.
Sold the bottom.
So only the stock that actually just fell off the share market, which is a few companies in Australia just disappeared. One of them was an investment company called Babcock and Brown, which, I thought it was as safe as a bank, but apparently it wasn't. It just absolutely disappeared, and people lost a lot of money. So I know what it's like to lose everything of certain stocks.
Right. Yeah. That's the interesting thing about cryptocurrency is if you get cryptocurrency right, it's more important than anything else financially that you'll ever get in your entire life. Because you cannot get these types of returns at all, no matter what. The only thing that maybe reaches the same kind of returns sometimes is if you're a seed investor in something that becomes $1 billion company.
Yeah,
which is pretty.
I've tried
rare.
to do that. I actually did it. I did a corporate video for a company that recently, and their tech is to track parcels and to make it good for everyone. The parcel tracking business, and the video I did was to get investors excited about it, and I got excited about it myself, to be honest, and so I put money into their IPO, and that tripled straight away, which was it's now come back, but it's still double what it was. So
right.
You want to be on the ground floor. You want to be one of those people who the stories. Yeah, I was there, and I'm now got a boat the size of Hawaii. That's the dream, isn't it?
I mean, I kind of looked at. I've been retired for 20 years, and the whole boat thing. I mean, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which is the Venice of America. There's more canals there than there are in Venice. And I never really got into the boat thing. It's like everything I want's on land. You want to meet chicks? Well, they're on land. You want some steak? Grows on land. You like rocking all the time, or getting hit by a rogue wave, or pirates, and you're like, I don't like any of that stuff. Then you look at the gas costs. You're like, okay, I get a big boat. I want to go drive it to somewhere else. What does that cost? Like $30,000. $30,000. I guess I'll be getting a sailboat. It's like a terrible deal.
I agree. I do not own a boat, even though I have the means to buy a boat, because for that very reason. What do they do out there? Unless you love fishing. Maybe if you love fishing and the only way to get the fish is to go to the fish, I can understand that. But if you're not a fishing dude and you just I'm with you. It's all on land, you know. It's a status symbol more than anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got a huge boat. Look at my huge boat, you know.
Well, that's the other thing is you go to the dock and you're like, all right, where are the orgies? I'm at the dock. Let's go. Let's see the madness. And you're just like, man, everything here sucks. Like everyone's 1,000 years old. This is trash. I don't like
Exactly. And most of the boats are at the dock, so they don't actually ever go out.
Exactly.
They're there. They just sit there devaluing and costing their owners the
10%.
mooring fees.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have not done the boat, and if I do hit it, you know, mega rich with crypto, I probably won't buy a boat, to be honest. So.
Well, they say, you know, to quote an overplayed proverb, the two best days of boats are the day you buy it and the day you sell it. So
yeah, and the day you sell it's the best day. So yeah.
And if your friend's got a boat, I mean, technically now you've got a boat. So
absolutely.
You know,
actually,
he pays.
Bill Burr, comedian Bill Burr, I saw him recently. He did the analogy about he's had his own TV shows, and like I've had my own TV shows here in Australia, and he said he'd rather be a guest on the show because it's like the guy who turns up to the guy who owns the boat with a 6-pack. You know, he can just drink the beer on the boat and then just go home. Doesn't have to worry about, you know.
It's a big difference. I mean, people don't realize all like us doing this live stream. Everyone just gets to show up for it, but we're here trying to fix lights and fix audio, like hook up cameras real quick. Like, it actually sucks on our end, right? We're burning like hours ahead of the show and after the show because we need lag time to like sync up and stuff. Like, there's a lot of, you know, no one wants to see how the sausage is made.
Exactly, and for me, I've got this light that I'm actually holding onto a light here because it's broken, so it's got tape.
Looks better now. You just fixed it, mate. I can see your face now.
It's an absolute nightmare. It's got a Halloween. I'm turning into a jack-o'-lantern. So yeah, I'm wearing my daughter's headset, which had bunny ears on it. And like I can't have the bunny ears on the headset. It's like
I think it would be endearing. I saw something terrifying talking about Halloween. I saw some dude that just literally was wearing like a plastic bag over his face. I don't know whether it was COVID or whatnot, but if you've ever seen someone just walking around the street with a literal like shopping bag over their face, it's pretty freaky because it's what you see in like a killer movie when this dude's getting like killed. You're like, man, are you sure that's what you want to wear over your head? Jesus.
I agree. The first, Australia's got, obviously Halloween very much an American tradition. Australia's got into it in the last 10 years. And I remember the first Halloween that my wife made me go the 3 kids out. She splattered fake blood all over my face. And we live in an area where there's a lot of meth heads. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
So I had to wander around the streets knocking on doors with blood all over my face. People, they weren't answering the doors.
Well, all treats for them. No.
Actually, I answered. I had one of my kids was a policeman. I had a fairy and a cat. And this is true. Someone answered the door, and I said trick or treat, and he goes, "We're not American." I said, "Well, guess what? He's not a policeman. He's not a fairy." And I haven't just been stabbed. Right?
Well, yeah. So I mean, there's so much stuff we could talk about. We could talk about crypto, we could talk about comedy, we could talk about Australia, we could talk about world events, of which, god darn, there's a lot of them. What do you want to talk about, man? This is whatever you want.
Look, I'm happy to talk about anything. I am fascinated. I know that your audience, the people who love you, I mean, I imagine they're drawn to for many reasons, but crypto is the one reason to get them in the door with you. That's... For sure. And I am fascinated, and we've had discussion, you know, on the podcast, the radio show I do, about your knowledge that Australia is really getting behind crypto. And are we too late to the party? Is the question for me.
I mean, you bought right before a big dip in the GFC, but if you held. Probably worked out okay.
It has. You know what? I honestly was so shocked by and traumatized by the experience. I didn't look at my share portfolio for years because it was so I didn't want to look at the damage. When I eventually did, though, some of the stock that I'd bought for very little had gone up like 100 times. There's a stock in Australia called realestate.com.au, which is a real estate website. And that went from like $5 to is now worth, 200. So, and that was, and I held on to it. And yeah, so I did pick some real winners actually.
Good job, man. It sounds like you really did a lot of research.
I want to do that with crypto. I want to be that person,
Well, the funny thing is about crypto is, in the bull run, everything goes up nearly, except the straight scams that go to zero, of which there are many. I mean, we have names for them. They're called rug pulls now. They're so numerous that we literally, just like the word scam wasn't good enough, we had to come up with a new name. So they go up and up and up and up until they go to zero, and they just stay there. So, if we had this conversation during an 80% dip, then it would be, you could buy Bitcoin and still get crap returns. You could buy Ethereum and still get better returns, probably 2 or 3x better than Bitcoin, but still crap compared to other things like HEX or PulseChain, other stuff that I built because it's newer, right? So I look at speculation like this. What is the ratio of people that know about a thing now to the ratio of people that will know about it? And that's your actual kind of ROI potential ability to make a lot of money. So like, who hasn't heard of Bitcoin? The richest guy in the world bought it.
Yes.
And so you're getting in at like the absolute very last moment possible when retirement funds and the richest people in the world have already bought billions of dollars of it. And then who's going to follow them up to get you like a sick multiple? Another world's richest guy? Like, no, like you already got him. So, I believe you're going to have a much higher potential ROI in things that people haven't heard about yet. So I know for a fact most people have not heard about HEX. I know for a fact most people have not heard about PulseChain. And, the difference, a lot of these coins that you have out there now, they're literally made up garbage whose only technical claim to fame is their logo. Like they changed the JPEG. So like Litecoin was a fork of Bitcoin. Dogecoin was a literal joke invented as a joke in an afternoon copy of Litecoin. The
and it's
founders
now worth what?
Many billions of dollars. Right.
Yeah.
And the world's richest guy trolls and tweets about it. And you're just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why? As a technologist, as a rocket scientist, why are you promoting garbage technology? And I know how garbage it is because I actually developed around it. When the PulseChain launch happened, there was a sacrifice phase and you had to integrate all these different little chains in order for people to be able to sacrifice on them. And you could see who had good infrastructure and who had trash infrastructure. And Dogecoin's infrastructure is trash. So
why does Elon Musk do that then? What is he?
He trolls. He literally trolls a lot, dude. He posts pictures.
Just for fun.
Yes, truly. He actually, I think he gets to drinking and maybe smoking. And then he starts saying stuff that, look what he just did. He just literally sold like 10% of his shares in Tesla because he put out a tweet and he's like, hey guys, I heard you don't like rich people not selling stuff. So you want me to sell 10% of my shares so I could pay some tax? And then he posts another tweet and he says, I'm serious. I'm going to abide by this tweet. And he goes and does it. I didn't fact check the numbers to see if he sold exactly 10%, but he sold like $5 billion worth. A lot of money.
It's huge, and it has huge effects on the market. And
the price went down 20%. So
it's crazy.
I think that I don't think that the mob is the right way to decide whether you're going to divest of something that you worked so hard to build. I think it's a terribly stupid idea. I think Elon Musk is a weird case of a genius who does some really stupid crap, and you're like, bro. He invented PayPal, kind of, right? X.com and PayPal merged, but he was kind of invented it. And, then he wrecked his McLaren F1. I wouldn't wreck my McLaren F1. Most people don't, but he wrecked his, you know? And then, you know, he doesn't do everything right. Some things he gets right. But like, for instance, let's take Bitcoin. Secretly buys Bitcoin, then tells everyone it's awesome. He's going to start accepting it for Tesla cars, and he'll never sell. He says he'll never sell. Then sells the living crap out of it and says, I said I would never sell the money we got from selling the cars. And I don't think he ever got any money from selling the cars. And then after he dumped it, surprise bought it, pumped it, surprise dumped it, and then started savaging it. This stuff's destroying the environment. Who knew? Who knew Bitcoin used electricity?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, rocket scientist, bro. You knew. You 100% knew. You bought it, you pumped it, you dumped it, and now you're savaging it. And you don't even need to do that, man. So
it's just for fun for him. He's just like, this is what I'll do to, I mean, someone who's worth, what, is he worth 200 billion? Or he's like.
Something like that, yeah.
So, yeah, so just, do you think he's doing it for ulterior motives or just for the fun of it?
Well, it depends. I think he context switches. So when he's just trolling about, you know, stupid meme coins, he's probably just trolling. But when he's, you know, secretly buys $1.5 billion or something, he ain't trolling. He bought $1.5 billion through Tesla. Okay. And then he wants the price to go up. Then he wants to sell. Then he wants to rebuy. Maybe the price goes back down because he talks so much crap. I don't think that's funny. And I don't think those were jokes, you know? And so I think he's got multiple modes. I think he's got a profit generating mode. I think he's got a trolling mode. And, you know, we're not on the same page on some things. So, you know, he thinks we should be a multi-planetary species. I think that sucks. My grandparents are dead. My dog's dead. And they don't care whether we go to Mars or not. They're out of the game. Soon my parents are on the chopping block, and then I'm on the chopping block. And if we were smart, we wouldn't care about going to Mars either. So you could say, put all your eggs in one basket. Or there's two sayings. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Or put all your eggs in one basket and watch it very carefully. And, you know, I don't care if a big meteor comes and kills everyone here, but like 25 guys get to live on Mars because we're redundant. Like, no, like that sucks. Let's not, like, everything that we want is here. And so I raised $27 million for medical research, and he's not doing that. He's not raising the money for medical research that I am. And he doesn't believe that people should live longer, healthier lives. Like, he's pro-death to a degree. So is Bill Gates. Bill Gates says, you know, I don't really think people should live longer. And you're like, oh my God, dude. Well, one, I guess you hate all medicine because that's what all of it does. It all makes us live longer. So I guess you're just like, you know, and then, you know, Mr. Gates believes that everyone's life is worth the same. And I know that it's not, which is why we have door locks. If everyone's life was worth the same, you'd let people eat your food, but you don't.
Yeah.
You know.
So they talk one way, but they're worth more money than most countries. So they're not really. Yeah, but
you can sway them. Like, they're swayable. Like, if I could get an audience with some of these guys, I could see, you know, how to hopefully improve certain parts of what they're doing. Now, look, Bill Gates does actually do a lot of good things for the world. I think some of the stuff he's doing recently may not be optimal, but, you know, if you want your kids not to have guinea worm, he's like the world champion of getting rid of guinea worm, you know? And there's some things he cares about that I don't care about at all, but probably make the world a better place. Now, I look at things from this perspective. When I'm dying in the next, say, 20, 40 years, did I do the best I could to, like, deploy my capital in ways that would prevent that obvious outcome that you 100% knew was coming? Like, Steve Jobs 100% knew something was coming for him, but he just died rich. Okay, well, if you die rich, you messed up. Like, that undeployed capital did you what good? Did your family what good? And if it didn't work out for you, it could work out for your kids. You like your kids? You want them to be happy and healthy? Well, they need medicine. They need it. I mean, look at this COVID thing. Imagine if we had spent a little bit more on preventing this cluster. It ain't good. There's a lot of bad stuff going on. I mean, Austria lock down all the unvaccinated people. Then 3 days later, they lock down all the vaccinated people.
Yeah.
You can't vote in parliament in Latvia if you're not vaxxed. You can't get gas in Lithuania, I think, unless you got a vax pass. Now, some people argue about that, and they say, well, you can. But it's like, you know, just because some businesses might not be following the rules, that don't mean that ain't the rules, you know? And then you look at places that have 100% vax rate, like, I don't know if it was Gibraltar or someplace, and then they're on lockdown with 100% vax rate. And you're like, okay, guys, at what point are you going to realize that, like, one, this vax don't actually work? Even Bill Gates himself says it does not prevent you from spreading anything. It just maybe.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely not for mandates. I think they're ridiculous, and they're a way to cause agitation in the world, which is unnecessary, basically. So yeah, no, I'm not a mandate guy. Absolutely.
Well, mandates is literally like the opposite of human rights. You're like,
yeah, no, I agree.
The Geneva Conventions quite clearly states you can't do medical experiments on people, and then here's this unapproved crap that hasn't been through human trials, and they want you to be the trial. And you're like, wait a second, what's up with all the myocarditis? What's up with this Google searches for suddenly died going through the absolute roof? What's up with giving kids, like, so you're gonna give kids that have a 0% chance of death from this stuff something that has a higher than 0% chance of death. So you're gonna kill kids in order to protect who? Like, I don't think you should kill kids to protect other people. I don't. Like, I think if the world is in a state where you have to die instead of kids, that's how it is. Sorry.
So I'm here to say I am vaccinated, and but I am against mandates. I'm an anti-mandate guy. Absolutely.
Well, I just got I manned up and just got the real COVID, so now I get the real immunity. So, like, the vaccine gives you immunity to, like, a little tiny part.
I do think that I think that everyone will get COVID before probably in 3 years. Probably everyone will have had it. So, so I am vaccinated, but I'm not. We can't run away from it, basically. And if you don't want to get vaccinated, I believe that's your choice. And I'm absolutely with you there.
I like these people that are like, you know, choices have consequences. You're like, wait a second. So you're gonna, like, you can't leave your house, you can't feed your family. Like, it went from like 3 weeks, it went from like 2 weeks to beat the curve to now like 3 jabs to feed your family.
Yeah.
And you're like, if you agitate the people, like, social distancing obviously works for all diseases. If you agitate to the people to the degree where they form riots, that's the opposite of social distancing. You probably shouldn't cause them to riot, because
I agree.
Like, it's not.
I agree. I haven't had a cold at all in over 2 years.
Right.
I used to get colds every 3 weeks. So something has certainly stopped that. But yeah, no, I'm with you on no, it's a crazy way to run the world, and it has caused a lot of stress unnecessarily, I would say. Absolutely. Yep. So no, I'm with you 100%. And how's America going with it? How is the overall population?
I live in Europe, so I don't even know what's going on over there. I mean, I just drove 6,000 kilometers through all the Baltic states. So
yeah, right.
I bought a Ferrari and drove from Grand Touring car, decided to go on a Grand Tour, went to Estonia, Latvia, Poland, Amsterdam, Germany, Paris, Denmark, everywhere, you know, just went absolutely everywhere.
How beautiful is that? How beautiful is Europe? I was in Italy a couple of years ago. What a country, what a place to be. How it's stunning, isn't it? That would have been a stunning thing to do.
It's nice when you can participate in society, but in some places I wasn't allowed to.
Oh,
so
really?
In Estonia, you want to go into a restaurant? Show us your vaccine pass. No, but I got a test that shows I don't have it. We don't care. That's not what this is about. What they say it's about isn't what it's about. So then you know, like, for instance, I now have natural immunity because I got it, and my body was like, all right, we're over it. Which basically the CDC guidelines is if you've had 11 days And then 2 days without fever, you're clear. You can do whatever you want. You no longer have to quarantine unless you were immunocompromised, unless you were like an AIDS patient or immunocompromised. Yeah. Other than that, 11 days plus 2 days without fever, you can do whatever you want. And in most countries, they don't even care about the 2 days without fever. They just care about the 11 days. So, but a lot of countries don't give you any credit for that. So if you look at the UK guidelines, I have a big show I got to, attend on December 2nd in the UK. There is no framework for having been recovered. They don't care. They want you to quarantine for 10 days. Now there's,
even though you've got a better immunity than everyone else.
Yeah, you're like, this doesn't make any sense. What I got is way more effective than what they give you with these jabs. So it's not a fair world, and these laws are not being fairly enforced, and it's
also not sensible. So I know in Australia, if you get COVID, you're not allowed to have a vaccine for 6 months. So even if you wanted to get a vaccine, you can't even get one. Is that right?
Because they know because they know how stupid it is. Because you already have the best immunity possible by God. Like there's nothing better. You can't possibly get better immunity than actually having had COVID. And then the jab, the jab has a higher risk of fucking you up in ways that the disease doesn't. So, the disease isn't likely to give you myocarditis, but the jab is,
So right now you can't go to many places, even if you wanted to get the jab, you wouldn't be allowed to get the jab. So
it's really weird. So in EU countries they do have a cert for recovery. So in most EU countries, they have a recovery cert. But the UK is not a member of the EU anymore. So they don't, and for instance, Hamburg, Germany, when I was there, there were bars that would let you in with your test that showed that you were clean. And you have to get your nose jabbed every 3 days, by the way. So if you want to do that, show that you're an okay human being that's allowed to participate in society, you got to get something jabbed in your nose every 3 days. And then there's an hour or 2 hour delay between when you find out whether you got it. And so you're missing huge chunks of your time as a human being trying to continue to participate in society. And then in Hamburg, there was places where they didn't even care. They're like, you either have a vaccine and then you can come in, or you can't. And we don't care about your test that says you don't have anything. And you're just like, okay, I'm leaving here then. Keep it. Crazy.
It's a weird world. In Australia, as you probably know, Melbourne, where I've spent a lot of time, has been locked down longer than anywhere else in the world. So and there's a lot of protests, and there's well,
I heard you guys just opened up, but I would be afraid to go visit. Was that true? Did you guys open up?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we've mostly opened up. So and there's the vaccination rate is over 90% here. So, and there is a mandate, and there's people going, why does there need to be a mandate if you're over 90%? You shouldn't have to mandate. But they're still mandating. So it's.
I would be afraid to visit because I know they're going to lock your asses down again. 100%. I know it. They're locking you the fuck down again. It's happening. Period.
It is. Yeah, that is.
I'm supposed to not cuss. I was so good with not cussing, but I recently got back into it. I try not to do it.
Oh, really? No.
I mean, because some people's grandparents want to watch and whatever.
Yeah, I get it. I've got kids wandering around the house as we speak, but they hear me speak. Then I hear them swear, and I'm like, "Don't swear," and they go, "Well, you do." Okay, yeah, but
do as I say, not as I do. Be better than me.
Well, I've got two of them at home now because there's COVID cases at their school, and I'm like, "There's going to be." They've got to be able to deal with COVID at schools now because, as you say, the kids generally don't get sick. So, and the parents are either vaccinated if they want to be, or if they don't want to be, it's their choice. So, can't we just get on with life?
Well, that's the funny thing is soon they're not even going to. The people that are vaccinated, you're not even going to get credit for being vaccinated. You're going to need vaccinated plus boosters, plus boosters, plus boosters, and then you're going to be on booster. It's funny when people that are on their fourth booster are angry at the people that are on their third because they think that those guys are responsible for all the problems, and you're like, no, this just doesn't work. The polio vaccine works. this vaccine ain't working, man. It's just not.
Well, look, yes, there's many variations of vaccine, and which one do you get? And the booster situation is interesting, and you just love it if we could just put COVID to the background and just try to get on with life.
That's why you need a boat. That's the only redeeming quality for the boat, man. Is you're like, oh, it's lockdown time again. Choo choo. See you later. I guess it's a steamboat.
Well, there's people who got fined in Australia for not wearing a mask when they're on a stand-up paddleboard.
Oh my god!
In the middle of the bay, and the police came out and fined them for not having masks on.
It's so horrible, dude. I can't. It just blows my mind.
You've got to laugh though, man. You have to laugh. And I am a comedian, but I've got a lot of trouble on Australian Twitter for having opinions about this stuff. Believe me. So, and I'm very mild in my opinions, Richard. But still, I was trending yesterday for what I said yesterday on Twitter was, in Victoria they're getting rid of most of the restrictions, and common sense has prevailed. So apparently that's an incendiary thing to say.
Common sense. Oh my God.
The term common sense apparently has been cancelled. You can't say common sense because if you do, you're a right-wing extremist, basically.
I got to tell you, I've avoided saying any of these keywords on this channel for fear of literally just being like turned off. Like it's a literal fear. Like,
no, I get it. I 100% get it. Even having this chat with you, there's the chance this could be picked up. You feel the sweat. In Australia.
You're like,
it could be picked up in Australia, absolutely. And they'll take a little bit out of it, and then all of a sudden, you're trending again. So it's possible. There's no doubt. So anyway, but you've got to. Every now and then you have to say what you think, and just deal with it.
It's true, man. And if I haven't earned the right to say what I want, I mean, look, I'm a self-help author. I've got 27 million raised for charity. I've called the Bitcoin bottoms and tops for years. I've, founded a multi-billion-dollar cryptocurrency myself. If I haven't earned the right to speak truth to power, I don't know who else could. You know what I mean? I guess
I hear you. And my wife goes, "Why do you say stuff? Because you're a comedian." But I go, "But I just want to be able to be honest. That's all I want."
Well, that's what humor is, right? I mean, the majority of it is just, hey, look, this is something real that you haven't been noticing. Pretty funny, huh?
Let's laugh at the craziness of the life, basically. And you've got to be able to do that, for God's sake. You have to.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I mean, look, if you want to heal the humans, we don't just need medicine. We need social, mental, emotional healing, and humor is that,
Yes.
Like, people say, it's funny if, people say you can't cure like depression, and you're like, yeah, true, but I'm going to put you on a TV for an hour and you watch this guy and let's see what happens. You're like, yeah, life sucks and you want to kill yourself and all that. But for this 1 hour, it's going to be fun. You're going to like it.
Yes.
And you're going to laugh.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to make life worth living.
I agree with it. It is how we look at life, and you've got to, you can just take this moment, laugh at this moment, because as you alluded to earlier, we're all dust before long, basically.
It's true, man. I mean, what is here now that was here 2,000 years ago? It ain't much. You got like the Colosseum. I mean, I think over where you're at, you've got like Ayers Rock, and that's like it. There's not like
exactly, mate. And even if you do well enough to end up with a statue, the pigeons are going to shit on it, and someone down the track is going to put a rope around it and topple it because you've been cancelled, right?
Exactly, the cancel culture. Poor Chappelle. I watched Chappelle's last special, and I don't think it was as funny as it could have been, except he was forced to fight an actual kind of social battle because he was being attacked so hard. Did you see his last special, The Closer?
I have not seen it, but I've seen the fallout. I have seen the fallout, And yeah,
I'm
it's
lucky.
people talk.
There's none of that even on my radar. Like in my world, there's like no transvestites trying to like bang me up and like ruin me yet. So I'm happy in my
It's
bubble of not being canceled yet, I guess.
everything is noise, and if you can get beyond the noise, you can live a good life. And I
Yeah.
think maybe being in Europe, hopefully for you, beyond the noise is a good life. Except you can't go into, you know,
I just can't go into
restaurants. So
restaurants
it's like
or
the
cafes
noise.
or like,
The noise finds you, no matter where you are.
ugh,
The noise finds you.
yeah. So I guess we could try and bring it back to crypto. I mean, if my take on it is, I think that you saw a bunch of people get really rich in crypto, and you're like, hey, wait a
Yes.
second, I want to get really rich too.
Yeah.
So like, what are these guys doing? And then you end up buying the top. So like,
Yes.
I did it. I bought the top at 30, bro. I know exactly how it works.
So do you buy the top now, or do you wait? Do you wait?
I
Is
mean,
it? I know overnight or the last couple of days there's been a pullback. Is the pullback going to be further? I know you're guessing. We're all
I
guessing.
sure. I think that, so traditionally there's some very steadfast, reliable technical analysis tools that I believe in, and that I think if you look back at charts, you'll see those patterns. And one of those is when you have a parabolic rise up, when you fall out of that parabola, you dump 85% in crypto. That's what you do. And if you're an altcoin, you usually dump 95%. That's how it works. Bitcoin goes up and 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 up, and then for some reason it dips 50%. That seems to be the magic number. It can survive 40s, tons of 40s. But as soon as you get a 45, 47, 50, the punch in the nose is too hard. There wasn't the same buying pressure to keep making bigger green candles faster and faster, which is what a parabola is, or a parabolic exponential rise is. And then people sell. Why? Because the price went down. So people sell. Why? Because the price went down. So people sell. Why? Because the price went down. And you get the inverse of people bought. Why? Because the price went up.
Yeah.
And so it's reflexivity. And so I believe in that. And I think you got the world's richest guy. I think you got the governments. I think you had a huge price run up. And, if they raise rates and the stock market takes a hit, crypto is going to take a hit. Every time stock market gets punched in the face, crypto gets punched in the face. Not everything, but Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then almost everything else is tied to this. So I like to post these heat maps, and I like to say, hey, the floor is lava. Look, everything's red except stable coins and HEX, because we're decorrelated. Like we move to the beat of our own drummer. So I brag about that whenever it happens. Whenever the market all dies and everything's dead, like today, I mean, it's down. Bitcoin and Ethereum are down 20% over the last 2 weeks, or over the last week. So making new lows today. So it. I believe in 85% dumps in Bitcoin. I've seen a bunch of them. I believe in reflexivity. I don't believe in people paying millions and deca millions of dollars for serial numbers loosely related to JPEGs, which may not be hosted on the internet anymore. It disgusts me. It makes me sick, and I don't believe it's sustainable. And I think the fees are too high. And these are the same exact things that we saw in the 2017 top. Oh, by the way, who's the Tonight Show host? Do you know his name? That guy?
In
The States.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jim and Fallon. He changed his profile photo to an NFT picture. And then some other really famous guy did that. And you're just like, okay, is this the top now, please? Can we please have the top now? So that all this stupid, overpriced $1 million JPEG crap can go to zero, please. Because it ain't healthy. Like, what exactly better thing? How are you making the world better? This particular art is generated by computer. It's not even actual art. It's just permuted crap. And you're like, this ain't good art. It's trash. It ain't worth these numbers. What are you guys doing? Imagine when Bitcoin came out, instead I had bought a stupid JPEG instead of Bitcoin. It would have been a huge error. So, let me put it to you this way. If you wanted this market to look more overheated, and more risky to buy, what could you add to it to make it look more stupid and more risky? I can't think of anything to add. Like, it's maximum silly currently. So now, if everyone had already sold the bottom, if everyone had already had the chance to sell an 85% dip, I'd be like, fine, okay, those guys are out. Let's go play again. That's what it normally does. So now look, that's my thesis for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else that's correlated with that, which is almost everything else.
Hold off, basically, what you're saying with all that stuff. With that stuff, you're saying,
bro, what are you going to get, a 2x? Are you going to get a 2x? Is Bitcoin going to go up to 120K? You got a 2x. How long are you going to have to wait for that? And then when it dips hard, man. So, like, you know, Ethereum's been overperforming to the upside, but it's only dipped the same. So, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum have dipped, like, before we started the call, 19%. So like Bitcoin was like 19.06 and Ethereum was like 19.24. And you're like, yeah, same dip, but Ethereum's been running up more because Ethereum's more useful technology and it's on-ramping more users and you can do more stuff with it. And so, I mean, you would buy Ethereum over Bitcoin and in my opinion, now look, I'm biased, I'm the founder, but go look at the chart. Like if you go to the HEX price chart and you click log scale, now I'll teach you something about investing that I almost guarantee you don't know, and I think will be real useful for you and everybody watching to learn this. There's this button called log on all of your price charts. You should click it and activate it. Why? Because otherwise you lose all of the useful information on the left side of the chart. So when you have something that makes I'll reverse it for you guys at home. When you have something that's making exponential price rise, and you just watch it on linear scale, all of this is flat. There's no resolution, no detail at all. And then it's just a vertical line at the end. And it's always that way. And so if you don't use the log scale, all of your charts are a big vertical line at the end and no resolution at all, nothing in the beginning. But when you actually scroll back to the beginning, these are 80% move up, 50% move down. These are giant, massive moves back then, but you never get to see that visually because you're not using log. So when you click log, it brings all this resolution and detail up so you can actually see the moves back then. And then you don't have this big stupid vertical line at the end. And that's a reason that it's on every single chart that you see. You should be using the log scale because this is what exponential growth does. When Bitcoin goes from a penny up 6.5 million X to 65,000, it actually did 69,000, well, 68,354, something like that. I'll just call it 69K. You know, when Bitcoin did that, which by the way I predicted a couple of years ago on Malt on Stage, yay, I called 60K. You need that resolution that the log scale gives you, or you're just wasting all that visual space. And that's what a chart does, is it turns numbers into visual space that you can reason about. So, and it also makes the dips look reasonable. So people right now will complain about, this 20% dip, but then you look on the log chart and you're like, yeah, we're just back to like 2 weeks ago price.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, so it's easy to just complain about the dip, but you're like, the vast majority of people bought lower. The vast majority of people are in profit. So even though there's a 20% dip, it don't actually matter. And there's this funny thesis where you could, it matters if you were the guy that bought it, but the vast majority of people didn't. The vast majority of people bought lower.
I almost bought, I almost said I need a Bitcoin at about a week ago. So luckily I did.
I told you, I'm like, bro, the fact that you want to buy is a top signal. Like, hey, a guy from Australia, popular in Australia, wants to buy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, like, even if it were the bottom, even if it were an 85% drop, which by the way, they might have printed so much money that you can't even get an 85% drop now. Maybe you get a 75, but I think you get more than a 55. I do. I don't think a 55 is enough pain. So, which is what we got when we went from 65 down to 30 and 29, 28, 5. That's a 55% drop. And that's that punch in the nose that breaks you out of the parabola. And that's why I expect lower lows. And okay, great. Instead of going all the way down to 10, we went up, made a slightly higher high It took 6 months to make a slightly higher high from 65 to 69. And now
You predicted
20%.
60K. Are you prepared to make a prediction on the low?
Yeah, 85% drop. So it was 10K, but now that we went up to 69, it's 11K. I believe in the 85% drop. I believe in people selling the bottom. I believe in the pain. And I don't believe in people buying $1 million JPEGs forever and being profitable forever. Nope. Nope.
How long does it take? How long does this drop? How long will it take, do you think, the 85%?
Well, here's a trick.
Within a month or 3 months?
Here's a trick. The last bear market lasted exactly 365 days. We went from 20K down to 3K in exactly 365 days. Yeah, so these bear markets, they don't have to last a long time. It just really matters how many people you shake out. Because when you get someone to shake out, when you get someone to buy the top and sell the bottom, they lose the right to hurt the price later. They can no longer hurt the price. So shaking people out is a way to actually get more performance to the upside, because those guys locked their losses in. Now it's easier to go up because they can't sell anymore. So it's this breaking out of the parabola and not dropping 85% is new and different and not something that it normally does. And so for me, it opens up this fear that you could actually just have a double top, something it also doesn't normally do. So this slightly higher high kind of double top thing, that's how we bottomed. We did a bump and run bottom. You could do the same thing on the top. So, traditional blow off top is what I'm used to. But now if it wants to do some weird double top thing because they're printing so much money, it's in the game. There's no way I would buy Bitcoin or Ethereum right now. There's no way.
Yeah, right.
I don't think the upside's high enough, and I would want to see blood in the streets. And why wouldn't you? Why would you not see blood in the streets at some point with these $1 million JPEGs? Like, it just isn't sustainable.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And the printing so much money is just, what is life when it's just they just can print
here's
so
the
much
other
money?
thing. Here's the other thing. Okay, we've got inflation now. Why? Because they quadrupled the M2 money supply from 2 trillion to 10 trillion. Okay. But what if they taper the rates? If they taper those rates and people throw taper tantrums, cash is going to be king again, and every asset's going to dump hard as heck. Everything. Just like the GFC. Now, they're in a tough spot because they're either going to go Venezuela style and just keep printing the money like it's a joke and inflating everything like a joke until your money doesn't buy anything anymore, which is where we're heading. Like, try and buy a Rolex watch. They're sold out globally. Every adult men's-sized Rolex watch is sold out globally. I just went to 20 different Rolex stores. I got several $1 million of Rolexes sitting next to me here. I'm part of the problem, basically. So, like, houses, all-time highs, stocks, all-time highs, crypto, all-time highs. Everything's all-time highs, except your wages. Your wages ain't going up much. So you just got more poor. Oh, you got a 3% raise, inflation's 7%. You just lost 4%, buddy. So they have two options. They can either taper the inflation, and it's going to nuke all asset prices and make cash king, and Ethereum and Bitcoin will get annihilated in that situation. S&P 500 dumps, Bitcoin and Ethereum are dumping. Guaranteed, just like they did for COVID. And every other time, by the way. Like, they're not decorrelated. And then the other option is that they just do the Banana Republic, print money until the money ain't worth nothing. And I don't know which way they're going to go. But if they go the Banana Republic, money ain't worth nothing route, that is probably the route that's better for crypto in general. So, but that's the thing. Like, okay, your crypto profile, let's say your stocks go up 20%. Because saying crypto goes up 20%, usually it goes up more. Like, that's a pretty weak number. But let's say your stock portfolio goes up 20% and the house you want to buy went up 30%. You just lost. You didn't win. You lost. What matters is the ratio of what you got and the rate it's going up versus the stuff you want to buy. And if the stuff you want to buy is going up faster than the stuff that you have, you're actually losing. You divested of this stuff and bought that stuff earlier, so to speak. And try like a Zonda. It's like $3 million now. Well, okay, maybe it's three. Used to be $1 million. Used to be 650,000. So depends what you want to buy, basically. It's going to be hard to beat crypto in any case. Let's say you buy it wrong. Let's say you buy it wrong. When crypto does get back up, it gets back up hard. like Bitcoin went from 14K to 3,800, and then it went up to 69K. That was the COVID dip. Ethereum went from I can't remember how high Ethereum was, but it dipped to 88, and then it went up to 5,000. So to go from 88 to 5,000, 50x, it's not bad. It's not bad from the COVID dip of like a year and a half, 2 years ago till yesterday or last week, So even as much as I'm warning you about crypto, you still have to get it right, because there is nothing else in the world that will approach these gains. Nothing. HEX went up 1,000,000% from January 5th of last year till 3 months ago. 1,000,000% before staking. If you'd staked, you're up 1.5, 2,000,000%. Try and do that in anything else. You can't. Like, it's insane. I think I lost your audio, bro. Yeah, your audio is gone. You're muted in software. Click the button. Thank you.
You got me back?
Yeah, I've probably been talking over you the whole time. You're probably like, Rich, why are you talking over me, buddy?
I've been listening. So, mate, it's been great to chat to you. You're fascinating, and I'm in, man. I'm in.
All right.
I'm in, and yeah.
Well, bro, you should check out HEX. Like, I know I'm biased on the founder and all that, but it's really awesome, dude. Because
I'm checking. Absolutely will.
Look at it this way. Everything's a narrative meme. The only thing the price chart cares about is that people buy and hold. It's the only thing that makes the price go up. That they have a good excuse to buy and hold. Bitcoin was going to be peer-to-peer digital cash. Oops, didn't work out. Then it was going to be programmable money. Didn't work out. Now it's digital gold. Hey, maybe that one works out. In the end, the only thing the price chart cares about is buying and holding. So guess what? In HEX, we just directly monetize that. You buy and hold, you get rewarded with more inflation because you deserve it, because you held the price up. And it's just awesome. It's pure. It's amazing. I love it.
And I understand the buy and hold, and that's the way to get wealthy. I mean, that's what Warren Buffett's been doing.
It's the only two ways you get rich
for
in crypto.
a long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not going to outperform buy and hold usually, man. It was really good talking to you, Dave. I hope things work out good for you down there. I would hope to visit Australia one day because it is a beautiful place. I absolutely love it. All of it. I mean, I lived in Sydney a bit, Melbourne a bit, Surfers Paradise a lot. And I'm afraid they'll not let me out.
We're going to get... Normal is coming again, not COVID normal, just normal. The people won't put up with anything else long term, man. So good on you.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, Dave, man. Anytime, brother.
Cheers, mate.
Thank
you. Cheers, buddy.
Well, that was awesome. That's a Australian legend comedian right there. Great guy. Let's see if you got anything smart to say in chat here. Let's check out chat. Minimal cursing. Only cursed a couple times. Dave probably doesn't know that I just live stream forever. I probably didn't tell him that. Yeah, man, I'll just live stream for 10 hours. I hope you didn't have anything planned for your day. Any good questions in chat here, guys? I'll give you some PulseChain updates, right? I tell you guys that this stuff's too technical to update you on, and I'm not kidding, okay? So now, Testnet V2, we want to deploy with, some balances. Let's see some sacrifice balances in there. Okay, so you got to update all these records. All right. Well, how long does it take a node to update so many records? Oh, like 6 hours. Okay, so the network is stalled for 6 hours while the nodes are applying these updates. Well, what happened to the 3-second block time? Oh, well, I guess we could pre-deploy a database hack, and then these design decisions of there's a lot of design decisions that has to go into every single part of what makes PulseChain work. So right now, the current design decision is like running tests as to how quick you can get the database to write. Like, is there ways to reduce blocking or locking rather, to get it to write faster? And is it even worth getting it to write faster? Or is like a pseudo checkpoint database thing more efficient? Which my gut feeling is that it is. And then it's complicated. It's very hard to explain unless you know about level DB. You're probably not going to understand any of the more technical descriptions I could give you. So that's where PulseChain Testnet V2 is at, is design decision regarding updating all of those balances that need updated for sacrifice. And if you watch the Git, you can like see things happening. You can see what they're working on because they update the Git. By the way, we use GitLab instead of GitHub, so you know. Somebody says delete this so they don't take down your channel. Don't scare me, dude. My God, please. Can we please see the LV jacket again? That was the coolest jacket I've ever seen. This thing looks amazing when I'm standing up. But when I'm sitting down, that's the thing. Like, if you have a jacket that looks amazing when you're sitting up, it like explodes when you sit down, right? So this jacket's actually interesting because I don't think this is on their website, man. Like, I don't even know like how I got this jacket or what it's called, but I love it, and I didn't see it on site, so I don't know. Interesting. Come on, arm, go in there. I'm too strong for my jacket. Oh, I actually don't need this earpiece. There we go. Looks all right. Looks all right. I got so much Louis Vuitton, Prada, Burberry, just endless stuff. I guess you'll see it all eventually. Too hot in here to wear this, man. Pretty killer though. Goodbye, headset. Take your time, Richard. Get it right. Yeah. You know me, guys. I like to do stuff right. Richard, I don't want your endorsement. I just want to let you know I'm building a unbiased crypto ranking community swap thing. Cool, man. Well, hope it works out for you. I mean, my position on coin ranking sites is you shouldn't be on them. You know what the good stuff is. You stick with the good stuff. You don't go get wrecked on things that ain't the good stuff. Best looking jacket yet. Thanks, man. Well, I also am slightly less of a fat piece of crap now because I used to weigh 265 and now I weigh 230. So I lost 35 pounds. Helps. See it in the face, you know? Ooh. Blue steel. That's from a movie called Zoolander. What kind of car is my daily driver? Recently, it's a Ferrari Roma. 612 horsepower. 3.9 liter twin turbo V8. Can I still sacrifice for PulseChain? Yes, you can. Pulse.info. There's a running 5% daily increase in rate. So the rate is now a lot higher than it was earlier. Do I like broccoli? Yeah, broccoli tastes good. Any HEX YouTubers have directions for staking ladders? Probably all of them would be my guess. Except me. I don't have one. That's pretty funny. Is it mandatory to input PulseChain beta on Metamask before the mainnet goes live? No. No, it is not. You don't have to use the testnet. There ain't no LV clearance section, homies. It's not a thing. I don't know. What? I mean, my guess is they gave it to me before they should have, but I don't really know. Let me put it this way. I buy so much Louis Vuitton, they flew me, or offered to fly me. I drove instead and paid for my hotel to go to Paris Fashion Week. And let me tell you, hotels in Paris Fashion Week, the hotel room I was in was 2,400 euros a night. That's pretty pricey. Now they got a better deal on it because I figured out what they were paying. They were only paying 800 because they buy so many rooms, I guess. But killer, right? Like, I need to upload those videos. Like, I put them on Instagram, but they only live there for like a day or two, and then they just go away. But I show you, like, hey, look, a Louis Vuitton pool table, you know, all the stuff they wanted to sell me. Some of which I might end up buying, but we'll see. Richard, could you please explain the HEX doubling process once Pulse goes live? Sure. You've got HEX on Ethereum network. PulseChain mainnet goes live. Now you have HEX on the PulseChain network as well. All you do is change one setting in your MetaMask, and you'll be able to access your HEX on the PulseChain network. So, won't just be your HEX. It'll be all your ERC20s. Oh, Richard, are times tough? You got 3 openings on your watch collection. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Today I decided to wear this one. This is a, let's see if I can get it. Block out my eyes here. There we go. That's a Audemars Piguet. Offshore. Diamonded out into oblivion. Will there be a ranking aggregator site for Pulse and all PRC20s? Well, I know there's some ranking sites that want to list all those things. So it's probable. What's the biggest potential flaw that can come up with something like PulseChain launch? Well, we would get struck by a meteor and all life would end on this planet. So I'm going to hope that doesn't happen. Do you live in a castle? Feels like it. Do you watch or participate in any sports? It's been a while. I don't watch sports. Used to play a bit of squash. Haven't in a while. Used to play football when I was in much younger life. American football. I was a guard and a tackle. Time estimate for V2. Could be next week. How long will Testnet V2 need to run before launch? Don't know, man. Hopefully not too long. People are saying the only way to buy Pulse at launch is to swap with HEX. No, it doesn't make any sense. What? Should I be buying Pancake Swap ahead of the Pulse government's token launch? None of what you said makes any sense. What Pulse governance? What? Huh? Like literally nothing that you said makes any sense. How was Paris Fashion Week? I don't know. It was all right. Went to some of the big after parties. They were like big gay raves. So if you like Berghain in Berlin, that's what the Paris Fashion Week after parties are like with all the models. I was blessed enough to get into crypto during the sacrifice phase. Thank you for promoting the concept of delayed gratification. Parallels my foundations in recovery from addiction. Thank you, man. Thank you, Michael Solomon. Glad to hear you got over that addiction, man. Keep strong. Will USDT also fork over? Yes, it will. But they have admin keys, so they could invalidate everything at will. But they might get sued by their users, so I don't know what they're going to do. Insights on bridges? I haven't been in the bridge chat room, so my gut feeling is we're just going to end up with whatever sucks the least until we figure out something better. That's my gut feeling on that. Because, you know, all the corest of core devs are focused on PulseChain main operation. They haven't had time to like fall over to bridge. So there's some pretty good devs in bridge that aren't working on core, but I haven't checked on where they're at. Richie, when wife and kids, every king has a prince. I feel you. Yeah. Well, let's just say I practice making kids as often as I can, but wouldn't mind some more action, more practice. Ripple lawsuit? I don't know. I haven't really checked on it. Apparently they're doing good. Do I like garlic? It's all right. It's not the best thing ever. It's okay. Tastes good on garlic rolls and garlic bread. Have I heard a rumor about Metamask requiring KYC? No. So many good people in Pulse Chat looking out for noobs. Do you love them? I do. I really appreciate all the work that you guys do in those chat rooms. Every single person in any of the chat rooms is a volunteer, including me. So be grateful and thankful that these people take time out of their lives, a lot of time, to make things good in there, you know? It's really beautiful. Which project confirmed launching building a front end for Pulse? Somebody put together a chat room of just like projects launching on Pulse. There's like 18 or 19 things in there that I see. Like I don't have time to make all these chat rooms, so I guess we're just going to endure the risk that some other people are making them and hope that that works out. Because I don't have time to manage the, oh, look, 1 million scams are being advertised in this channel crap. I don't have time for that, man. Somebody says, I see the market cap going down with the price going up. I don't know. Maybe people staked coins. Or maybe the way that they measured the circulating supply changed. Can't make money on market cap, bro. I wouldn't think much about it. Why aren't the watches spinning? Well, man, long story. Don't worry about it. Have you decided how long you're traveling to line yet? No, not sure. Or how I'm traveling there? Haven't decided yet. Maybe I'm already there. Thoughts on Metamask Airdrop? Yes, please. Hope to do one. If you keep asking me about coins that I didn't invent or aren't Bitcoin or Ethereum, I'm probably going to hide you on the channel. I'm not here to comment on your crap coin purchases. Changing people's lives, you're the man. Thanks, man. What do you think about artificial diamonds created from the ashes of deceased people? Whatever. Okay. Seems alright, I guess. How do you know they really did it, though? Yeah, Tony, ship it! You don't know if they really did it. When are you going to get a god tier watch, a Casio? Meh. I don't understand some of your guys' questions. Some of your questions, guys, are so backwards. You probably need to spend some time in chat. What's going on with the HEX wallet, and will it become the Pulse wallet at this point? Huh? What? Nothing you're saying makes any sense, bro. What is the HEX wallet? Do you mean MetaMask? I don't understand what you're saying, man. t.me/PulseChain.com. Go there. Richard, will there be a possibility of safe Pulse staking? You can stake Pulse. I don't know what the ROI will be. What's my deadlift, Richard? I don't know. It used to be like 13 reps, 3 plates, but who knows now? It's been a long time. How much money to invest in Pulse to buy a Honda Civic? Don't know, dude. Is this what being rich but lonely looks like? Ha! Yeah, it's pretty funny. I just was on a Europe tour, meeting my fans, doing meetups in most of the cities I went to. Don't know how you could get less lonely than that. I could also walk outside and make as many friends as I want because I'm social as heck. You might want to recalibrate and kind of learn who you're talking about. Try richardhart.com or read my free self-help books, t.me/scivive. You're welcome, little buddy. Keep typing. Keep typing, little buddy. I'm nice enough not to just click hide user on channel. I let you live. Can you explain how the freemium PLS needs to be moved? No, because we're not sure yet because of this database issue I just mentioned earlier, right? Because writing all those values also affects having to rewrite them later, but even in larger quantity. So we'll see. This guy, the market cap guy asked the same question again. I guess he wasn't listening. You can't make money on the market cap, bro. Price. You can make money on price. What will happen to the price of my ERC20s when suddenly there's more supply in circulation? Nobody knows, bro. It's never been done before, has it? I tell you, I don't feel like explaining the yield farming thing again, but I guess I will. If everyone can bridge in their ERC20s to the PulseChain network and put them in Uniswap V2 forked liquidity pools versus or with alongside the free PRC20s, then you've got bridged in ERC20 PRC20 pairs, where now the value of these PRC20s is being backed by the value of the ERC20s. Could be pretty awesome. Could be very successful yield farming. Could be the most successful yield farming in the history of crypto. Because when have you ever gotten the other half for free? Pretty awesome. So I think that would affect the values. Will HEX on the Pulse chain launch from 0 or have the same ratio as HEX on the Ethereum chain? Ratio to what? USDC? Hard to say, man. How's the exchange going? Crap. It's going crap, mate. Richard, what's your car collection? Don't worry about it. All you need to know about is the Ferrari Roma. Richard, I love you, man. I wanted to go to Amsterdam, but it appeared you were gone. I was there the day after. I hope you come back to Amsterdam soon. Virtual hug. Thanks, Adrian. Are you affiliated with PulsePad? Nope. Absolutely nothing to do with it. What is the best crypto to change for Pulse if you want to do? Stable coins, Ethereum. I mean, you got a lot of options there. Bitcoin. Just go to Pulse.info. Take a look. How did you invent the math of HEX? That took a lot of work, a lot of trial and error, a lot of spreadsheets and Monte Carlo simulation, and a lot of work. What do you have planned for the event in London? I don't have anything planned. I don't have anything to do with the production, the billing, the creation of it, nothing. I just show up. So go to hex731gathering.com and read all about it. Buy tickets. hex731gathering.com. Yep. Go there. Buy tickets. The most important thing to me is that something looks awesome for the documentary. That is what I care the most about. So if it's sold out and there's awesome stuff going on, I think that looks better for the documentary. So I've learned so much from the Telegram Pulse Chain chat and yours and other HEX YouTube streams that I can now vaguely understand what Vitalik is talking about. Nice, man. Congrats, bro. When Ferrari SF90? I don't like the fact that the SF90 gets beat by about 0.2 in the quarter mile by a Tesla Plaid. I don't like that. So it's like I probably will never get an SF90, probably. But it's faster than the Roma. Yeah, but the Roma can put girls in the back. Do you cut your own hair? No, I do not. But thank you for thinking I could do such a wonderful job I sacrificed ETH. Does price determine the amount of pulse I get? Yeah. The price of ETH and the rate, they both matter. What's the best car on the planet? What do you want to do? Do you want to move lumber? Do you want to put girls in the back? Do you, like, what's your objective? What did you change in your life to lose weight? I ate less. Oh, and I got COVID. Then you really eat less. Very happy with selling most of my crap coins and going all in on HEX. No longer trading. Thanks, Richard. Thank you. How much can you deadlift? I told you, 3 plates on each side, 13 reps, might have been 15, I can't remember. It's a video. Go Google it. You can watch the video of me doing it. Could have got a few more reps, but my hands gave up. I think the calculated max was like 420 or something. If you want, but just go watch the video, man. Richard Hart deadlift. It's on Twitter. Richard Hart, what will happen to the Uniswap V3 LP coins? They get forked too. The wallet I used for sacrifice is potentially compromised. What is a recommended process for someone in the situation? Hope that the hackers don't notice when mainnet launches and race them to steal your own money. So hopefully you get to steal your own money to a new address before they do. Good luck. Any prediction on the price of HEX for this time next year? Nope. Have you seen the latest James Bond movie? I did. Thought it was all right. Could have been a whole lot worse. Thought it was all right. Do you care about the sentiment of the HEX community? Yeah, I prefer it be awesome always. But anytime there's a huge run up, a bunch of noobs buy it, and then a dip happens, and then everyone cries. That's the funny thing. Hey, you want to know how to torture crypto people? Let me give you a real easy way to torture crypto people. Buy the price up, make a new all-time high, and then just sell it back down. And then everyone's sad as heck. What happened? Oh. You're like, yeah, the price is back to where it was not so long ago. That's what happened. It's hilarious. It's just crazy that you could just cause insane anguish to most crypto people by buying and then selling, and then they're like, oh God, I could have sold up there, even though they weren't going to sell anyway. You're like, man, y'all need to learn to chill, man. Dips are in the game. On my charts, I show all the dips. I could highlight all the pumps instead, but I don't. I highlight one big pump, and then I highlight all the dips to get you guys ready for the dips, because dips are in the game. Who else does that? It's just me. Are you happy with the PulseChain Progress? Yeah. It's how it is, man. This is exactly what I expected. This is how it goes. I'm happy with it. You want to do hard, first ever done things? Takes time. Where's Pulse going to be listed? Don't know. But if you have bridges, does it really matter? One day I will feel the joy of wearing a fancy watch that costs more than the median home in the US. I mean, I met a guy that got stabbed outside his house and was only 10% to survive. Basically, after meeting that guy, I'm happy not to wear a watch outside. Because you got to learn from other people's mistakes, right? So before I met a guy that nearly got killed for his watch. Hey, more lackadaisical. But then when you meet a guy that nearly got killed for his watch, you really should, you know, maybe not put like a bounty on your own head, so to speak. Do we have to change anything for HEX Testnet V2? I don't think so. But I mean, it depends what you're doing. If you're running a node, yes. If you're just a user, probably not. What's my thoughts on the lawsuit against the U.S. military for jab mandate? I don't know anything about it. What requirements will it be to be a pulse validator? Really sick machine, and like there can only be 33 of them. So what are the chances that you're going to have more stake and a better network setup to outperform those other 33 guys to knock one of them off the list? Probably pretty low, but who knows? What kind of fridge do I have? One that's got barely anything in it. I hope you like olives and mustard and like hot sauce. I have the most bachelor fridge imaginable. Oh, and of course there's a half-eaten can of tuna there. So my fridge is sad, super sad. Will we be able to see our hex balance in Testnet V2? Yeah. What's after PulseChain is launched? Any planned project coming up? Pulse Swap. It's like a Uniswap V2 fork on PulseChain, where all that cool yield farming can happen. There's a parallel team building it. Amsterdam, dude. I heard you a few times, man. I already said. I'll just read your comment again. This is Adrian. I love you, man. I wanted to go to Amsterdam, but it appeared that you were gone. I was there the day after. I hope you come back to Amsterdam soon. Me too, bro. Me too. I hope, you could buy tickets to this UK event. I'll be there December 2nd. Richard, do you have any Breitlings? Nah. The only Breitling I might get one day is like the Breitling Emergency, maybe. That's about it. Best way to buy Pulse at launch? I'm not sure. Have you seen the movie Idiocracy? Yeah, it's funny. People commenting about meeting girls in my chat. Perhaps read my free self-help book at t.me/scivive. For real. And perhaps skip to the romance section under respect. Can we buy HEX with straight USD? I mean, you can go to hexagon.store. You can go to dharma.io, dharma.io. Otherwise, you're going to have to buy normal other cryptos and swap them. You can buy Ethereum. You can even buy Bitcoin and then turn that into Ethereum. Hey, Richard, just wanted to thank you for all that you do. You've given something extraordinary to look forward to. Very pumped for Pulse launch. Jeremy. Thanks, man. Any interest in classic cars? They're beautiful, but they don't turn and they don't stop. So, you know, I actually want to drive them. So not turning and stopping is kind of a problem. Adrian says, thank you for sponsorship. You made my day. I still have a question. Will PulseChain be stakeable? Yes. And what will the APRs be? Have no idea. Because we don't know how much profit there is from fees. Because we don't know how much the fees will be. Because we don't know how many people will be hitting the chain up. So, don't know yet. Today I discovered that mayonnaise mixed with tuna that already had oil in it tastes like crap. So if you're going to mix mayonnaise in with your tuna, which you probably shouldn't, I think you want to go with the water-based, like tuna in water instead of tuna in oil. It seems like the oil and the mayo don't go good together. Like the video. Yes, please do like the video. Please do subscribe. Please do follow me on Instagram. I post stuff there. Instagram.com/RichardHartOfficial. And then when the fake Richards message you, ignore them. Bro that keeps asking on how to take advantage of a log button on the chart, just click it and activate it, dude. That's all you got to do. Makes your chart more useful, period. A suggestion for the format. You're better with people. When you're alone, you're not telegraphing much joy. Might be working too hard, man. Tell us a good story. Here's the problem. Half your guys' comments suck. They give me virtual cancer, okay? So when I get the virtual cancer from half the comments, and when I respond to them, what do you want me to do? Dance a jig for you? Look, sucky comments I got to respond to. Yeah, I'm better with people, so feed me better people, all right? I don't need suggestions for the format. I need better people to talk to. Go get them. Have them DM me. Your job. I wish my screen would stop getting dimmer. I need to do that hack on it. I wish I could be in London the one time you're in the UK, but I'm at a wellness retreat. My language, though. Let's try this again. I wish I could be in London the one time that you're in the UK, but I am at a wellness retreat in North Carolina thanks to my HEX gains. And you, taking care of my health and smashing it. Much love, Richard Hart. Thanks, Peter. I liked when I used to say retweet again and again instead of retreat. Just internet problems. What happened to EOS? I don't know. I guess everyone forgot about it. Somebody asked, how do you fly to London if you aren't vaxxed? Well, you can fly to Ireland and screw around there for 10 days and then just travel directly to the UK, says the UK website. Or you can travel directly to the UK and get COVID tested on days like 2 and 5. If you're clean on 5, you can leave quarantine. I'm sure other people have their own methods, but these are the ones I found in my research. Tell us one interesting thing you learned today. I don't think I learned any interesting things today, bro. Sorry. Well, I guess I learned that lateral flow COVID tests are the least sensitive. So the UK suggests that people that have recovered from COVID use those instead of rapid antigen or PCR tests. PCR tests are most likely to give you a positive result. Positive meaning like you've got it. So I guess I did learn something today. Will there be a BSC Matic Sol to PRC20 bridge? Not sure yet. Let's start with an ETH one, eh? Is a hot dog a sandwich? No. Hot dog's a hot dog. Like the video, guys. Yes, please click like. You guys want a tip for your tuna fish sandwiches? Potato chips. Man, you put potato chips on a tuna fish sandwich. Oh my God, it's so good. So very good. Unfortunately, I also have no bread here, so I can't even have sandwiches. Oh, getting a little bit tired here, homies. What a logistics nightmare to travel, you're right. So much time wasted. Yeah. You inspired me to make my own HEX and Pulse content finally after being a one-day HEX transformer. Creating is so fun. Welcome aboard, Mr. Holocross. Good on you. Is there any new update you can give me on PulseChain? Gave it earlier, bro. Rewind. What's the name of the LP token on Pulse? Not determined yet. Homies, I'm tired. So I'm going to go chill out. It has been wonderful talking to you guys. It was so nice of David Hughes to come on. He was really cool. Yeah. Pulse.info if you want to sacrifice. T.me/PulseChain.com. T.me/HEX Crypto. Instagram.com/RichardHartOfficial. Twitter.com/RichardHartWin. T.me/SciVive, free books. RichardHart.com helps you keep track of all this stuff. HEX.com, what a great URL. What else? Yeah. I like when everything else is going down and HEX is going up. Makes me feel good. Pleasure, guys. Please like, subscribe, send your friends. Most important thing you can do is outbound messaging. Matters. Oh, and anything else was drama stuff. The only drama thing I can think of is like the Freddie Quotes music video, which I loved. The song is awesome. And it matches the genre of like, you know, having a beef kind of rap style stuff. I liked it. Loved it. Glad everybody did it. When hexagons do stuff like make music videos, make normal videos, put wraps on their cars, you need to support them. This concept that anytime the price dips, people are like, oh, someone's responsible for the dip. No, man. Dips are in the game. They've always been in the game. They're always going to happen. They're never going to not happen. You're always going to have dips. You need to support hexagons. Instead of when there's a dip, be like, oh, who can I attack as though it is their fault? So, support your hexagons out there. Positive framing, positive language, positive mental attitude. Dips are in the game. See? Bitcoin and Ethereum are down 20% from a week ago. Dips are in the game for everybody. Okay? How was the F1 driving? Scary. Because, you know, I was trying to be real chill and not push it. Still spun anyway. So, it's hard. Thanks for your time, Richard. Thank you guys. It's always a pleasure being with you guys. And I love being able to stream again. I love it. So let's hope we can do more of it. Feed me more cool interviews, and then you'll have them. See you later, guys. You know what? Let me type a link in here. Instagram.com/RichardHartOfficial. And let's give you some chat. Anything else? Hit you with Twitter. I got like 129,000 followers on Twitter now. It's pretty cool. I gotta throw the HTTP in there, huh? Sorry for the all caps, guys.